if you want to play like a thunderous rock guitar god, here's an epic riff to set you on your way. Now this blends elements of the blues with rock, and of course it has some soaring leads, which we're gonna dive into. Make sure you stay till the end of this video. But let's get started with this Stranglehold guitar lesson. Now the first thing you need to know is the 4 chords that make up the main riff. This is what the main riff is built on. So we've got an A5 power chord, and you play this here at the 5th fret on the low E, and then the 7th fret on the A string, okay? And I a lot of times will use my first finger and pinky just to keep it kind of relaxed, but you can use your first finger and ring finger. And some people play 3-note power chords, which is cool too. I'm just gonna keep it with these 2 notes. Okay, so that's the first chord. Then we're gonna shift to a C power chord, which is just down 1 string and then to the 3rd fret. And then we'll bring it up to D. And then the last chord is G, which is like the A, we just drop it down 2 frets. So rhythmically, it's gonna go like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and A, 2, 3, C, D, A, 2, 3, G, A. So it's a total just classic rock progression. And then as that progression is happening, the bass player's grooving over it, then Ted plays this iconic riff, which sounds like this. 3, 4. So this riff starts off with the open A string and then the note G on the 4th string. We're gonna hammer, play those together, and then hammer up to the note A there, just 2 frets higher. It's gonna go. That's the first 2 beats. Now what's very important with this is the strum hand just keeping a 16th note, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a just all downs there. And we're also gonna use a palm mute here with the strum hand. So it's gonna go. Okay, so that's 1 E and a 2. And on beat 2 there, when I hit those notes together, I let it just the palm mute up a little bit. So I'm constantly kind of muting the lower strings and then letting part come through. So, see that? 1 E and a 2 E and a. Okay, so if I count the 16th notes, it's 1 does the hammer, and then E and a. Okay, that's the first beat. Then on beat 2 is where we hit the accent. 2 E and a, and then on the of 2. So 1 E and a 2 E and a. Okay, then on beat 3 we'll go 3 E, and on the E of 3 we'll hit the accent and then and a. So 3 E and a. 1 E and a 2 E and a, 3 E and a. Okay, then on the 4th beat we'll go. Now I love this part. We've got these double stops here, very classic rock thing. 5th fret on the 4th string, also on the 3rd string. Play those 2 together, then hit the A string, and then go back to those double stops, then go up to the 7th fret like this. So those double stops are on beat 4, and that's the first measure. Let's play it all together. It's gonna sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Here it is again. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Okay, then we're gonna do a pull off here in the second measure from 7/7 there to 5/5. That's a real quick pull off, almost like a grace note. That's on the first 16th note, the first 16th note of the second bar. So 1 E and a. Then we just go right back to the open A string. See that? 1 E and then we go back and play exactly what we did in the first bar on beats 2 through 3. So far, the second bar, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a Then on the last beat, we play the power chords here, G, A, because remember our progression. Right, so it's tying in there with those power chords on the last beat, 4 and. So here's the first 2 bars, and this is the essence of the song. This is the iconic riff, and I'm gonna show you some embellishments after this, but get this part down first. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a. Again. Now there are a lot of little embellishments, so let me show you some of those next. You know, Ted is playing this with a lot of energy. He's jumping around the stage, and there will often be like a little 30-second note that he'll add in, like, I'll give you an example of that. 3, 4. Just that quick down up there with the strum hand. And so a lot of that is just sort of like as he's feeling it, but again, the core riff is what I first showed you. Another great variation is he goes up here and he goes, and instead of going G, A, if you thought about the cage system, which I use all the time, that would be this shape, you know, G shape here up to the A, or a G chord up to an A chord, but they're all using the A shape. And then he just takes 2 notes of it and slides up. So that's gonna go. Just 4 and. All right, so that's the main riff, and I'm just gonna jam it a few times so you can hear what it sounds like, and I'll play some of these different variations. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's the main riff. Now, the majority of this is based on something called the blues scale, especially in this next part where Ted comes in and he sings. That melody there. So those notes right there are essentially the A minor blues scale. Now, if you haven't worked out your blues scales yet anywhere on the neck, this is something that you're gonna wanna do. It's gonna help you solo over tunes like this and just understand how they're put together. And so I wanna give you a gift that's gonna help you out with this. And what it is my blues scale PDF guide. Just go to johnmcclennan.com/blues-scales and you can download this right now as my gift to you. And it's gonna show you the patterns that I use, and these are the same ones used in this song. So hope you enjoy that. Just go to johnmcclennan.com/blues-scales and grab that as my gift to you. So from there, I go into the verse and I just kind of tone it down a little bit. I go like this. You know, and I just, instead of going, you could do that, but you could also just kind of play C, D, you know, mixing back into those power chords that we talked about at the top. Now, after this, we go into a short interlude, and then there's a key change where there's a bass solo. Now, this is really the only other part where the chord changes kind of change here. We go to the key of F sharp. So far, we're in the key of A, okay? But for the bass solo, we go to F sharp, and we do a similar riff. It just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Then again, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Then we go back, and it's just basically using the relative there. The relative minor of the key of A would be F sharp. So it's just a related chord, and we're gonna go down here. I'm gonna play power chords though. So, and you'll notice here I went to 3 notes, so 2, 4, 4. And then I went up to 5, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9. So it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Then just wait here, then again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. All right, so let's talk about the rest of the song, which is really just a lot of soaring leads. And again, using the blues scale and knowing that is going to help you solo over this. But let's take a look at some exact phrases that Ted uses. Here's the first one in the first interlude. 3, 4. So basically that riff is happening, you know, underneath, and then he's using these Jimi Hendrix style bends here. You've got the 7th fret on the 3rd string, going up a whole step, bending into the note E, and then also playing the note E on the 2nd string. So it's gonna go. So that's 4 times there. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. And then you move it up 2 frets, up to 7 and 9. Then move it up 1 fret to 8 and 10, or 10 and 8. That 10 is bending though. So it's. And then you have all these notes, right? You can take it all the way up the A minor scale, just using that idea of the unison bends, which again comes from Jimi Hendrix. And so using the blues scale sounds really great soloing over this, like. Even up high. So it's a lot of improvising there, and what I would recommend doing is taking some of these ideas and practice playing them over, you know, either a looper pedal or just recording yourself playing that main riff. Now, later in the song, it goes to this really cool march that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3. Then we're back to the main riff there. So what I did there was play the 4th fret on the 3rd string and just go 4, 5 on the 4th string, then back to 4, then 2. Then I play the A string just with triplets. So. Then again. Then go up to 6 and slide down to 2. Then triplets, then restart. Then it finishes with, you know, right back into the riff. So you just play triplets there on a G power chord. Triplet, then you're back into that iconic riff. So make sure you take each part slow and practice it along with the recording to help you get the feel. Then when it comes to soloing, you're gonna make sure you wanna grab my free blues scale PDF guide. Just go to johnmcclennan.com/bluescales and you can grab that as my gift to you. And this is gonna help you start playing those epic leads up and down the neck. As always, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you'll really like this one next.